Welcome to BIORATNA. Dear students, I am Chandana Sengupta. Today we are going to discuss the topic the stem and its modification from the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. The stem and its modification. What is the origin of stem? You know that stem is the part of the plant which lies above the soil level. Fine. Other than the modifications, of course, which can be underground. So the stem, it originates from, see, this is the seed. In the seed, these two are the cotyledons. These two are the cotyledons. And then at this center, you might miss a structure which is actually going to give rise to the whole plant. This structure is called embryonal axis. What is this? This is embryonal axis. Its center, it has three parts. This is the cotyledonous node. And at the top, this is the plumule. And here it is the radicle. Now this radicle will grow and form the root system. And this plumule, it grows and then it will give rise to the plant, the shoot system, the stem with its branches, its leaves, its flowers, its fruits, etc. So this is how, this is showing the origin of the stem, or you should say the shoot system. Now let us see the structure of the stem. Suppose this is the soil level. This is the soil level. Then this is the aerial part of the plant. This is the stem. And this stem, what structure it has? It has these nodes from where the leaves come out. So this is called node. This is one node. This is another node. This is another node. From here you will find the nodes which are the leaves which are coming out. So these are the various leaves which are coming out from the nodes. So these are the leaves. Here I have drawn alternate leaves, means one on this node, then another alternately. It is like one here, another here, another here, like that. This is alternate one. But it can be like from the same node, two leaves can arise at opposite direction. Then this is called opposite type of phyllotaxy, arrangement of the leaves. So one leaf alternately at each node, or two leaves at the same node, or it may be more than two, means forming a whorl. Fine. So these are the different types. So here I am going to show the alternate one so that it doesn't jumble up and the idea is clear to you. So this is the alternate type of leaf arrangement which I have shown here. Let me show the soil surface a little below. Okay. From the very bottom, the leaves will not come out. Fine. You will also find the buds here at the axil of the leaf, means at this position, you will find the bud. These are the bud which are called axillary bud. This is called axillary bud. What is the function of this axillary bud? These axillary buds, they grow into branches. मतलब ये इस तरह से ये axillary bud ही branch में grow करेगा, and then it will also have these nodes and internodes, and from these nodes the leaves will come out. The distance between these two nodes, let me write on one side as far as possible. So distance between these two nodes, it is called internode. There is one more bud. This is axillary bud. Here at the top there is another bud which is called the terminal bud. This is the terminal bud at the tip by which the plant will grow in its height. Here you can find the flower. This is the flower. Fine. So this is the flower. So this is the shoot system. Of course, here there will be the roots, or this is the root. Here I am showing the taproot. So this is the root system which is underground. The root which has formed from radicle. We have already studied root and its modification. Those who have not seen it, they can find the link in the description box. So this is the diagram of the structure of a plant. Of course, it is showing the structure of your stem and the shoot system. Stem with its branches, its leaves, its fruits, its flowers, it is called the and of course leaves, it is called the shoot system. Now, before coming to the modification of stem, we should know the function. Why? The normal function of stem. We should first know what is the normal function of stem. Then when the stem performs any function which is other than its normal function due to for some adaptation, for some reason, then we say that it has modified itself. So what is its function? Its function is, first it holds all the branches, then it holds leaves, it holds flowers, it holds fruits, etc. Then this has a great significance. Means when it is spreading on the branches, the leaves are there, then the leaves are spreading up so that they can get proper sunlight and they can do proper photosynthesis. The second function is, here the roots, they have absorbed the water and minerals. This has to move upwards to each and every part of the plant. This is done by the stem. The stem, it receives this water and mineral, and this water and mineral, it moves upwards. Fine, this is one. Another, these leaves, they do photosynthesis and they form the photosynthetes. This photosynthetes, यहाँ से होते हुए, हर plant से होते हुए, leaf से होते हुए, it comes to the stem, and then stem moves it downwards up to the roots and provides the food to everyone. So the second function is transport of two things, that is water and mineral, and second is the photosynthete from the root, from the leaves towards the root. Now let us see how the stem deviates from or does extra function other than these two functions. Then it will be called modification of the stem. We are going to study the modification of stem under three heads. One is underground. Underground means below soil level. One is aerial. Aerial means those plants which you can see, heighted plants. And then the subaerial plants which run parallel to the soil surface. So let us first take the underground stem modification. This is the underground stem modification. First one is tuber. Example is potato, which you have already studied in class 10th also. Here in case of potato, you can see that these are the nodes. These are the different nodes. It is a stem modification. Though it is underground, it is a stem. It is having the nodes and internodes. And at each node, you will find these buds. And from these buds, each bud can give rise to, this is the bud, and each bud can give rise to a new plant. So this is a modification for perennation, that is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation as well as food storage. It stores starch. So there are two functions. One is vegetative propagation and second is storage of food, which is of course not the normal function of the stem. Now come to the next one, that is, this is first one is tuber and the second one it is rhizome. It is also underground and the example is ginger. What is its structure? Here you can see this ginger it is having the nodes, and internodes. These are the nodes. This is one node, this is another node, and then naturally these are the internodes. In between the nodes, these are the internodes. At the tip, here you will find a bud. Here it is one bud, here also, here also, here also, from which a new plant will be formed. So this is the bud, node, internode, and at each node, if you look carefully, here you will find scaly leaf. Here you will find scaly leaf. So this is the scaly leaf. What is the function? Its function is also the same, that is storage of food and vegetative propagation. Because of these buds, it can grow into a new plant. Now come to the third. This is rhizome. Now the third, that is a corm. What is a corm? First, let me give you example of corm. That is, this is Zameen Kand is given in your NCERT. Zameen Kand is amorphophallus. This is amorphophallus. And take another example, that is colocasia. Colocasia. This is 1, this is 2. Let us see the diagram. This Zameen Kand, which you popularly call ol. Here in case of this Zameen Kand, you can find this big modified stem, and of course it is having the nodes, and from the nodes you can see many small corms coming out, and there are these roots all over, which also you can see, and here of course the connection with the plant. This is the Zameen Kand. This is Zameen Kand, and then the colocasia. So this one is much smaller, and it is having these nodes. These are the nodes, and when you take it out fresh, then you can even find the scaly leaves here. You can also find the scaly leaves. This is the node, and then from here you can see the roots, and this is the structure of colocasia. This is colocasia. From here also you can find out these are the nodes, so it is also having the meristematic cells, and from them here you can find the small other corms coming out. So these are the baby corms. Let us take one extra example which is not in your NCERT, that is bulb. Example is onion and garlic. In case of onion, here you find this is the reduced stem, जो काट के आप नीचे से निकाल देते हो ना, this is its reduced stem, and from the stem, it is stem, so it will have node and internode, so it is having the nodes. This is the node and internode. From the lower side, you will find the roots coming out. From upper side, here the bud, and here from every node you will find these leaves coming out, and these leaves, internal leaves, they are fleshy leaves. They are fleshy leaves which have the stored food, and the outermost covering, outermost leaf, it is the scaly leaf. It is not laden with food, and it protects it. And from here you can find, then this is the structure of onion, which is a bulb. This was the underground stem modifications, the tuber, the rhizome, the corm, and the bulb. Next we see the subaerial modifications. Subaerial means what? Subaerial means those in which the stem, it is running parallel to the soil surface. These subaerial modifications you find difficult. Let us see kahan koi difficulty hai. Fine. The first example, this is the basic na. When you understand runner, then you are going to understand runners, then sucker, stolon, offset, everything very easily. So in this runner, this is the soil surface, and this soil surface, here you will find this original plant, this main plant, it is having its node and internode. Fine. This plant is having the leaves at the top and adventitious roots. These are the adventitious roots at the bottom, and here the leaves at the top. Now, from this node will arise a lateral branch. This is the lateral branch. Node hai, node se ek branch nikla. Then here it is the node. This is the node. Then at this node there is again this stem. This stem is also having the nodes and internodes. Then one node, now it is again going to form a lateral branch. It will have the stem. And this stem, same thing repeated, that is, it is having the nodes and internodes, and from this node will again arise one lateral branch. Each one is having the leaves at the top. Here it is also having leaves at the top and the roots below. So these are the leaves and these are the roots. It is like it is running in one direction. This is the reason why when you put some grass, dub grass in your garden, in your lawn, then it spreads up and covers the whole field. So this is runner, and the example of runner is grass and oxalis. Grass and oxalis. This grass example is given in your NCERT and this oxalis is extra. Now come to the next one, that is sucker. What is a sucker? The same thing we will draw. Just see here. This is the soil surface. This is the soil surface. Now here is the stem. It is having its nodes and internodes, the same thing. Now it will have the leaves at the top and here the adventitious root at the bottom. From the lower node, from the node which is underground, now will come out this lateral branch. Yahan bhi lateral branch hi tha na. This lateral branch, it does not come up immediately. It takes some distance from the parent plant so that it does not have to compete with the parent plant for space, for sunlight, for nutrients, etc. So it runs for a little while, then it will come up, but now even not erect, straight ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. Now it follows oblique path, ऐसे तिरछा जाता है, so that it can take a bit more distance. Here now this stem, now it will be repeated. This nodes, from this node will come another lateral branch. It moves straight horizontally for a distance, then it moves oblique, and then it forms another stem like that. This will be repeated. Here the leaves are there and the roots at the bottom. So in case of runner, this stem is visible, and in case of sucker, this stem is these lateral branches are visible, whereas in case of sucker, these lateral branches, they are underground. You will think that these three are the separate plants. No, they are connected, but the connection is underground. What is the example of sucker? Example of sucker is physics, chemistry, biology. Remember it like that. This is P, C, B. All these three examples are in your NCERT. That is, this is pineapple, this is chrysanthemum, and this is banana. So this is sucker. अभी तक कुछ मुश्किल लगा, ऐसा ही होगा. The rest are also the same. Now come to the next one, that is the runner sucker Stolon. This is Stolon. Stolon's example is jasmine and strawberry. Jasmine and strawberry. The same thing we are going to do. This is the soil surface. Then this is the main original parent plant. It is having the nodes and internodes and the leaves at the top and the adventitious roots at the bottom. Now from the lower node, underground one, will come one lateral branch, and then it comes up and take a loop, one arch, and then it comes down. Fine. The point where it comes down, here it forms one stem. This stem will have the nodes and internodes. Again from this lower node will come out a lateral branch. This moves upwards and forms one arch, and then it again forms a stem. And here at this stem, here you will find the leaves at the top. So these are the leaves and these are the adventitious roots. Same here. So in case of Stolon, you can find these arches. These are visible in case of Stolon. These connections are not seen in case of sucker from above. And in case of runner, you find grass, you have observed. You can see this, and when you pull one plant, then as they are connected to each other, many plants, they together get uprooted. The last one, it is the offset. Let us see what is offset. Offset is also like runner, but everyone is having some difference with runner. Basically the runner structure, some differences also. Let us see what are the differences in case of offset. These three were terrestrial, soil pe the. But this offset, it runs on water surface. So here it is the water, not the soil. This is water, and this is the plant. The plant is having, yes, the nodes and internodes. Here you find the leaves, but the leaves are rosette. The leaves are rosette. Rosette means what? Rosette means ऐसे in whorl, मतलब many leaves coming out from a single point. And of course the leaves from the bottom. यहाँ से ऐसे निकल गया. Now one lateral branch comes out from the stem and the internode is short. In case of runner, the internode is long, whereas in case of offset, this internode is short. So immediately we'll find this stem having the roots at the bottom. Then again from here another lateral branch will come out, and this is one more stem which is having here the roots, and at the bottom, above, it is having the leaves which are rosette. There are many leaves at the arranged like a rosette fashion. So this is offset. And what difference you find in offset and runner? First, this offset is aquatic. Second, the internodes, they are short. Third, the leaves, they are rosette type. There is one more difference. यहाँ runner में only single lateral branch is coming out ना. यहाँ भी आपको, here I have drawn one lateral branch to show you the structure. But in case of offsets, many lateral branches come out at the same time, running in all the directions. This is the difference between offset and runner. The example of this offset is Pistia and Eichhornia. Eichhornia, you know it as water hyacinth. So this Pistia and water hyacinth, that is Eichhornia, these are the examples of offset. So this first runner, then sucker, and third Stolon, and the fourth, that is the offset. These are the subaerial modifications. Now the last of the modification, that is aerial modification, means modification in those stems which have got some height. You can observe them, some heighted plants. So aerial modification, first example which we will see, this is phylloclade. What is a phylloclade? See, in arid region, in desert region, there is water scarcity. So if there are many leaves are having stomata, so due to the heat of the sun, the plant will continuously lose the water in the form of water vapor, which will lead to dehydration and the plant will die. There is much of water scarcity. So what is the natural solution to avoid this water loss? Means the plant has to get rid of the leaves. So it changes the leaves into spines. Then who is going to do photosynthesis? When the leaves are not there, then someone has to do the photosynthesis also, na? Without food also the plant is not going to survive. So here the stem, it says that okay, I am going to do the photosynthesis. It becomes flat, like leaf, it becomes flat, it becomes green and it starts doing photosynthesis. लेकिन ऐसे मेकअप में भी हम पहचान जाते हैं कि this is the stem, it is having the nodes, it is having the internodes. Let us see. So this is the flattened stem. This is the example of opuntia. Here we are seeing the example of opuntia where the stem has become flat. There is one more example where the stem is fleshy and cylindrical, not flattened like opuntia. That is in case of euphorbia. In case of euphorbia, this structure will be cylindrical and green and having the spines. Now here you will find the nodes and at each node there are the spines. So these are the spines. These are the spines. These are actually the modified leaves. This is the node and this is the flattened stem. This is the flattened stem for the purpose of photosynthesis. Now here you can see few more these structures because this is the stem, it is having the nodes and the buds. So this is actually a branch, it's branch which again gets modified and it is also having these spines. It may further have another one like that. This is the structure of opuntia. This is phylloclade which is found in desert plants. This euphorbia, this example is there in your NCERT, remember. This is cylindrical and this opuntia, this stem is flattened. Second example, this is that of the thorn. What is thorn? The first example was for which function? Where the stem was performing photosynthesis, which is not its normal function, it is the function of leaves. Let us see here. Thorn. You know that the stem, it has nodes and internodes. This is internode and this is node. And from the node, here there is the leaf and at the here is present one bud. This is the position of bud from which the branch will come out. But rather than a branch, here you will find this bud, it forms a thorn. This is a thorn and this thorn, it is pointed, it is woody and it is straight. All points are also very important. All points are also very important. These 3 points are given in your NCERT. That the thorns, they are pointed, they are woody and they are straight. What is the function of the thorn? Acha, why we will say that this is stem modification? Because they are found at the position of axillary bud. There is no branch there. that bird which should have made the branch, now it has changed itself into thorn. That's why it is modification of stem. And the function is to protect the plant from the grazing animals, from the herbivores. Now the third one, that is the tendril. The tendril. Okay. Similarly, the same structure of the stem we are going to draw. These are the nodes. This is the internode. This is one leaf. At the here axillary position is present the bud called axillary bud. Rather than forming the branch, it now changes into a coiled structure called tendril. This is tendril. Tendril, which is spirally coiled. You can see it is spirally coiled. This is spirally coiled and tender structure. This is not hard. This is not like the thorn. This is not meant to cause pain. This is for the purpose of here, wherever in whichever plant tendrils are present, that means that plant stem is can't stand erect of its own. It is weak in the sense it cannot stand erect. So these tendrils, they get hold of any external object so that now the stem can go erect. They get hold of external object and then they help the stem to climb. This tendril, thorn का इन सब का example नहीं दिया. In case of thorn, this is example is the gourd and the grapevine. Gourd and grapevine. Grape के gourd के आप काफी सारे examples ले सकते हो. The cucumber is also gourd. Then pumpkin is also a gourd, and the CP and watermelon. Watermelon, it is also a gourd. So these three which come under gourd and this grapevine, there you will find the modification of stem into thorn. Tendril, this is the citrus. This example is citrus and bougainvillea. Here this is citrus and bougainvillea. That was all about the stem and its modification. Was it difficult? Have you understood it well? If you have understood, then do write in comment box. If you have some doubts, please do write that too. Find the link for the notes and the DPP in the description box. Every week, Monday and Wednesday, you will get regular videos on different topics where we are not going to miss any point. 100% points of your NCERT will be covered. And on Friday and Saturday, you will be getting the one-shots for class 11 chapters, which are very useful for the freshers who are in class 12th and the droppers who are going to appear for NEET 2023. Our next topic will be the leaves and its modification. See you then. Hopefully you have liked the video. Then please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get all latest updates.